Have you ever wondered how many amazing games get lost among so many generic releases and massive marketing campaigns? The truth is that the gaming world is full of titles that, for one reason or another, don't receive the attention they truly deserve. Many of them are real gems, capable of standing alongside major releases, but they end up in the shadows, overshadowed by the noise of blockbuster games. If you're tired of playing the same old games and want something that goes beyond the mainstream, then get ready, because today I'm going to show you 20 games that deserve a chance and that you should definitely play. Some of them you might not have heard of, but trust me, it's well worth giving them a shot to shine. This is Jack speaking. If you're new here, welcome to the Play Hunters channel. I bring you daily content so you won't miss any details from the gaming universe. And if you could subscribe to help me grow, I'd be really happy. From one gamer to another. Starting off our list, we have This War of Mine, which places the player in the midst of a civil war, but in a completely different way from traditional war games. Instead of controlling soldiers or armed heroes, here you play as civilians struggling to survive amidst chaos and scarcity. The atmosphere is heavy, and every decision impacts the fate of the group, making the experience intense and often emotionally draining, in a way that's unique within survival games. The standout feature is the resource management mechanic and moral choices. You might be forced to break into houses to secure food, but is it worth it when it means stealing from others who are also suffering? This do-what-it-takes-to-survive dynamic creates constant tension, keeping the player immersed and reflecting on each step. It makes the game incredibly engaging, with a depth few survival titles can match. The gameplay is complemented by a dark and minimalist art style that fits perfectly with the theme. The sense of helplessness is palpable, and every action carries real weight. If you're looking for something that messes with your mind and emotions, this game is a choice that many players haven't yet had the chance to experience, but that definitely deserves more attention in the community. Next up, we have Echo, a game that blends sci-fi with an innovative gameplay mechanic. You find yourself in a luxurious, yet treacherous environment where your own movements are learned by enemies controlled by artificial intelligence. These enemies, known as echoes, replicate your actions and strategies, turning combat and exploration into a real chess game. The more aggressive or stealthy you are, the more your opponents will mimic those tactics. The interesting twist is that the environment itself is part of the challenge, with cycles of light and darkness that alter the behavior of the echoes. During periods of darkness, they've unlearned what they've seen, creating strategic opportunities for you to move forward. This aspect keeps things dynamic, forcing the player to think quickly about how to adapt to each situation. It's not just about skill, but intelligence and decision-making. With impeccable atmosphere and breathtaking visuals, the game creates an immersive and challenging experience. Every decision is a choice between survival and strategy, making the journey a unique gameplay experience. The way the AI adapts to your actions keeps the tension high at all times, providing a constant feeling of being watched. This unique mechanic really elevates the level of immersion for anyone who ventures into this world. In third place, we have Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons Remake, a game that stands out for its unique dual control approach, where you manipulate two characters simultaneously. This mechanic adds an extra layer of challenge, as both brothers need to work together to overcome obstacles and solve puzzles. It's a dynamic that truly makes the player think and adapt, offering something innovative compared to other adventure games. The visual overhaul in the remake makes everything even more captivating, with stunning landscapes that transport the player to a world full of beauty and melancholy. The character's journey is not only physical, but also emotional, as they face hardships that test their bond and resilience. This combination of narrative and gameplay creates an engaging and unique flow, where each challenge overcome feels like a significant victory. The simplicity of the design is what stands out most, but make no mistake, emotional complexity and strategic challenges are present in every corner. Each stage brings a new puzzle or obstacle that forces the player to rethink their strategies, keeping the gameplay consistently interesting. This game is a true example of how video games can combine narrative and mechanics in a creative and deeply touching way. In fourth place, we have Spiritfarer, a game that tackles sensitive themes in a light and visually charming way. The premise involves the task of guiding spirits on their final journey while managing your ship, collecting resources, and taking care of passengers. The gameplay is marked by a combination of exploration and management, creating a smooth and reflective pace that's quite different from many more intense action games. The visual charm is one of the highlights, with an art direction that turns every moment into something beautiful and captivating. The interactions between characters bring a touch of emotional depth without being heavy or depressing. With each new passenger that boards, the player becomes involved in a relationship that offers lessons and reflections on life and farewells, all while exploring a vast and dynamic world. This balance between task management and connection with the characters makes the journey engaging without extreme pressure. The game offers a different way of playing, focusing on building bonds and meaningful moments, which easily sets it apart within the simulation and adventure genre. Next, we have Night in the Woods, a game that plunges the player into a narrative full of witty and profound dialogue, addressing themes like identity crises, friendships, and the transition to adulthood. The story is centered in a small town filled with mysteries, and the player explores this environment while interacting with peculiar and engaging characters. The gameplay is based on exploration and dialogue, with moments that range from humorous to dark, always keeping the interest in uncovering more. The stylized visual design and charismatic characters are one of the game's biggest draws. Every graphic detail helps create a unique atmosphere that goes beyond the simple narrative and reaches deeper emotional layers. The game's pace is relaxed, allowing the player to explore the town without haste, immersing themselves in the small stories that make up this charming and mysterious setting. This game masterfully captures the nuances of human relationships, without resorting to dramatic twists or overblown drama. The connection with the characters and the immersion in the environment make the journey engaging, offering something very special for those who enjoy games more focused on narrative and interaction. Continuing, we have Crypt of the NecroDancer, a game that brilliantly blends the roguelike and rhythm genres. The concept here is unique. You must move your character and defeat enemies to the beat of the music, synchronizing your steps with the rhythm of the soundtrack. This mechanic brings a completely different dynamic, requiring players to have a good sense of timing and agility to survive the monster-filled underground levels. Every wrong move can be fatal, as the game punishes deviations from the established rhythm. This adds an extra layer of challenge, making each level a true strategic dance. The soundtrack, ranging from electronic sounds to heavier beats, perfectly complements the action, creating a synergy that few games achieve. This heightens the tension and focus needed for each run. The game offers an impressive variety of characters and abilities, boosting replayability. Each new character brings a unique way to approach challenges, ensuring that players always have something new to learn and master. This mix of rhythm and strategy creates something truly distinctive in the gaming world. Seventh on the list is Still Wakes the Deep, a horror game set on an oil platform in the middle of the sea. The claustrophobic atmosphere and sense of isolation are palpable from the very beginning. Players are thrust into a situation where they must deal with something unknown and terrifying while trying to survive in narrow corridors and decaying industrial areas. The setting alone creates constant tension, making every move feel like a race against time. The horror here doesn't rely solely on jump scares, but on a slow and careful buildup of atmosphere. The sound design plays a major role in this, with machinery noises, distant footsteps, and mysterious sounds in the background. Every corner of the platform can hide danger, and the lack of information about what's happening amplifies the fear and need for cautious exploration. With a narrative that unfolds gradually, The game captures the attention of those who enjoy mysteries and a good dose of suspense. The unique setting and the constant feeling of vulnerability make every step important, ensuring total immersion in the dark, eerie environment. Eighth, we have Unpacking, a game with a simple, yet incredibly engaging concept organizing someone's life through moving boxes. The gameplay revolves around unpacking items from boxes and placing them in their proper spots, but the real magic lies in how this process reveals details about the person's life. Each new level represents a move to a new home, and the way you arrange the items subtly tells an emotional story. The simplicity of the design is a highlight, with smooth graphics and a charming visual style. As you organize the items, it becomes clear that they hold meaning, sparking curiosity about the untold story. The absence of dialogue or traditional narrative allows the player to discover everything through observation, giving the gameplay a unique touch. This game manages to turn an everyday task into something meditative and captivating, immersing the player in the details of each object. The relaxing pace and emotional connection that arises as you learn more about the life depicted make the game surprisingly impactful and highly enjoyable to play. In ninth place, we have Mad Max, a game that perfectly combines intense action with the exploration of a post-apocalyptic world. You take the wheel of a brutally customized car to face desolate deserts and violent gangs. Vehicular combat is one of the game's highlights, providing dynamic and strategic battles as you take down enemies at high speeds. The arid and devastated setting is a character in itself. With a massive map filled with dangers and secrets, exploration becomes just as important as combat. Each region presents new challenges, from scarce resources to relentless enemies. This decaying world is visually stunning, with sandstorms and ruins creating a tense and immersive atmosphere. The combination of exploration, combat, and vehicle customization ensures that each session is packed with action and important decisions. The constant struggle for survival in this hostile environment is ever present, and each victory brings a unique sense of satisfaction, drawing players deeper into this brutal universe. 10th on our list is SOMA, a psychological horror game that stands out for its deep narrative and disturbing atmosphere. Set in an underwater facility, the story explores the conflict between technology and human consciousness, prompting players to question what it really means to be human. The setting is claustrophobic and mysterious, with a constant sense of looming danger as you explore every corner of the submerged station. Gameplay focuses on exploration and puzzle solving, with moments of pure tension. The fear doesn't just come from scary creatures, but also from the philosophical themes of the game, which challenge players to deal with complex moral dilemmas. This blend of psychological horror and sci-fi makes every moment unique and unsettling. The sound and visual design work together to create an atmosphere of isolation and despair. Dark hallways and distant mechanical noises heighten the suspense, making every step inside the facility filled with uncertainty. This game is a true masterpiece for those seeking something more dense and impactful in the horror genre. In 11th place, we have Gravity Rush 2, a game that redefines how players interact with the environment, allowing you to manipulate gravity in creative ways. The ability to alter gravity transforms exploration and combat into something dynamic as you soar through the skies, walk on walls, or completely defy gravity. This unique mechanic sets the game apart from many other action-adventure titles. The world of the game is vibrant and detailed, with environments that feel like they've been pulled straight from a work of art. Each new area offers breathtaking landscapes, giving players an incredible sense of freedom as you explore in all directions thanks to your gravity control. Combat also takes on a new dimension, with enemies coming from all angles, requiring quick thinking and clever use of your abilities. The story, accompanied by captivating characters and intriguing mysteries, adds depth, but it's the innovative gameplay that truly shines. For those looking for something out of the ordinary, where physics and creativity meet in a brilliant way. This game is a true gem that continues to surprise. In 12th place, we have Alice Madness Returns, a game that offers a dark and twisted take on a classic. The journey leads players to explore a world filled with bizarre challenges and psychological struggles, where reality and fantasy blend in disturbing ways. The dark atmosphere is one of the game's main highlights, creating a tone that strays far from the innocence of the original tale. The gameplay mixes fluid combat with puzzle-solving moments, requiring a fair amount of strategy to deal with the dangers that arise along the way. Each new challenge pushes players to adapt their tactics and explore the environment creatively, keeping the action fresh and dynamic. The visuals are striking, with environments that feel like they've been pulled from a distorted dream. The way the story and aesthetics intertwine creates an engaging narrative without relying on obvious explanations. The game manages to transport players to a visually impressive world where tension and mystery are always present. In 13th place, we have Deadpool, a game that perfectly captures the irreverent and chaotic humor of the character. The action is non-stop, with frantic combat and moments that break the fourth wall, giving players a unique level of interaction. The fast pace and sharp humor make every battle fun, even when the situations are completely absurd. The combat style is varied and dynamic, mixing quick melee strikes with ranged attacks, allowing players to switch up their tactics in every encounter. The game also makes great use of visual gags and dialogue, breaking the typical seriousness of action games and adding a welcome lightheartedness. Every move Deadpool makes reflects his extravagant and unpredictable personality. The colorful and exaggerated visuals, combined with chaotic environments, make the adventure even more immersive. Even in the most ridiculous situations, the game keeps players engaged, offering fun challenges and a memorable journey. For those who enjoy action with a comedic twist, this game offers something totally outside the norm. Next, we have the Pathless, a game that focuses on fluid movement and the freedom of exploration in a vast, mysterious open world. The navigation mechanics are the standout feature, allowing players to swiftly traverse stunning landscapes with the aid of a bow, which isn't just a weapon but a tool for maintaining the pace of travel. The combination of speed and precision makes exploration dynamic and fun. Combat doesn't follow traditional patterns. Here, agile movement and ranged attacks come together elegantly, requiring players to stay aware of their surroundings and enemies. This unique approach to encounters creates a sense of fluidity that few games replicate. Every battle feels like a dance between the character and the environment, keeping the action engaging. The visuals and soundtrack complement each other perfectly, creating an immersive atmosphere. The world unfolds organically, with secrets and challenges that encourage players to explore every corner. This blend of freedom, beauty, and rhythm makes the game an excellent choice for those seeking a more intuitive and lighthearted experience in exploration and action. In 15th place, we have Call of Juarez Gunslinger, a game that brings back the classic Western vibe, but with an extra dose of action and style. The narrative is told in a creative way, where the protagonist recalls his adventures in the Wild West, and each memory comes to life in an exaggerated, twist-filled fashion. This creates a dynamic story full of humor and surprises, as the player dives into intense shootouts. The gameplay focuses on fast-paced, precise action, featuring duels and shootouts across a variety of environments. The cel-shaded graphic style gives the game a unique look, perfectly complementing the over-the-top tone of the story. The combat is satisfying, and the skill system allows players to customize their gunslinger abilities, making each showdown more engaging. The game excels at capturing the essence of Western films, with thrilling soundtracks and settings that directly evoke the great classics of the genre. For fans of frenetic action, this game is a feast, blending speed and precision in a stylish and personality-packed package. In 16th place, we have Death's Door, an action-adventure game that combines fluid combat with a charming yet dark aesthetic. The story follows the protagonist on a journey through a mysterious world filled with strange creatures and deadly challenges. The combat is dynamic and requires quick reflexes as players use a variety of weapons and abilities to defeat enemies in different environments. The level design is well crafted, with interconnected areas that encourage exploration and reveal secrets along the way. As players progress, new powers are unlocked, allowing access to previously blocked locations, keeping the sense of progression steady and rewarding. The world is rich in subtle details that enhance the journey without relying on extensive dialogue. The visual style, with its mix of light and shadow, creates an immersive atmosphere that complements the game's tone. Each environment is carefully designed to capture attention, and the orchestral soundtrack contributes to the dark yet fascinating mood. The game delivers intense combat and exploration in a well-balanced manner. In 17th place, we have as Dusk Falls, a game that stands out for its deep, twist-filled interactive narrative. The story spans decades and is directly influenced by the player's choices, creating a real sense of impact with every decision made. The plot unfolds like an intense drama, where the fate of the characters is in your hands. The gameplay focuses on complex moral choices and tense moments, where every decision can significantly alter the course of the story. This keeps players immersed, constantly weighing the consequences of their actions. The visual style, which blends animation with comic book graphics, gives the game a unique flair, further enhancing the narrative. The game expertly taps into emotional depth, engaging players with each new chapter and forging strong connections with the characters. The way the story unfolds, filled with mysteries and conflicts, keeps the interest high until the end, making it a memorable game for those seeking a narrative-driven experience. In 18th place, we have Nobody Wants to Die, a game that mixes frenetic action with a dark, mystery-laden narrative. The story revolves around a dystopian city where survival is a constant struggle. The game's fast-paced rhythm, combined with intense combat, requires quick reflexes and strategic decisions to overcome the challenges. The gameplay features a combination of melee combat and special abilities, offering players a variety of tactical options. The enemy and environment design creates a tense atmosphere where danger is ever present. Each battle brings a sense of urgency, keeping players on their toes at all times. The game's artistic direction also stands out, with dark, detailed environments that create a constant sense of oppression. The stylized graphics contribute to the dense, immersive atmosphere, making the game visually striking and unique within the action genre. 19th on our list is Darkwood, an atmospheric horror game that places the player in a dark forest full of mysteries and unknown dangers. With an isometric perspective and a unique survival approach, the game creates a constant feeling of tension. Nighttime is particularly challenging, where every step must be calculated, and exploring during the day is essential for ensuring survival. The gameplay blends exploration with a strong focus on resource management. Players need to be cautious when deciding when and where to explore, as each encounter with hostile creatures can be deadly. The day and night cycle adds an extra layer of strategy, keeping the game's pace unpredictable and challenging. Despite its minimalist visual style, the game is highly effective at creating an oppressive and frightening atmosphere. The intelligent use of lighting and sound reinforces the feeling of isolation, making the forest exploration nerve-wracking and demanding constant attention. This game keeps players on edge in a dense, mysterious environment. Next, we have The Saboteur, a game set in Nazi-occupied Paris during World War II. The standout feature here is the open-world mechanic, where players can use stealth or direct combat to complete their missions. The game offers a variety of ways to approach each situation, making it dynamic and action-packed at every turn. One of the most striking elements is the use of color in the visual design. Areas controlled by the Nazis are shown in black and white, while parts liberated by the resistance are vibrant with color. This detail isn't just aesthetic, but also emphasizes the feeling of progress as hope is restored to the city. This visual shift is one of the most engaging aspects as you explore the environment. The game strikes a solid balance between action, exploration, and narrative, keeping players engaged as they progress through missions. The freedom offered in the open world allows players to choose how to tackle challenges, whether through direct assaults or using infiltration tactics, adding an extra layer of strategy and enjoyment to the gameplay. And now, the question is, which of these games have you already played? Which ones are completely new to you, but now you're curious to try? The gaming world is vast and always full of surprises, so I bet there's a game you think would fit perfectly on this list but was left out. Let me know in the comments. Recommend that hidden gem that deserves more recognition and, in your opinion, should also be among the best games I mentioned here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Play Hunters channel and hit the notifications bell to keep discovering more must-play games and stay updated on all the latest releases and news. I'm leaving a video in the card with underrated games that are worth every penny. Those gems that you might overlook at first, but once you play, you'll wonder why you hadn't tried them sooner. Just click to watch. Take care, and see you tomorrow.